New forms of cyber attack are emerging every single day, and we're just helping add fuel to that fire, from voice-activated digital assistants to refrigerators that take pictures of us and our food. You see, the future of smart home ecosystems is unavoidable, but if we really need to have a fridge take a picture of us making that PB&J Sammy at 2 a.m., we might as well be smart about it. So despite the comfort that these devices offer us, the IoT is not a safe environment. Now, IoT, or Internet of Things, it's a series of interrelated computing devices. But in layman's terms, it's anything you would buy for a smart home. Your cell phone, voice-activated assistant, the little buttons that you press that get you to order more toilet paper when you're out. I mean, all of these things are interrelated with each other and talk to each other. So since we're going to be around all of these things for the foreseeable future, let's make sure we at least take the best precautions to stay safe. Here's the top 5 ways to do it. Use, permissions, passwords, updates, limitations. Or for short, UPPUL. Number 1, how do you use them? For things with cameras, are they positioned in our house in private areas that we wouldn't want anyone else to see? Digital assistants with microphones, are they in our business in certain rooms where we talk private stuff only? And when it comes to our phones, they may not be listening to every single phone call, and let's face it, it's probably not that interesting anyway. But do you really need to grant GPS access to every single app you download? Which brings us to number 2. What permissions have we given to these devices? Now, it sounds crazy because our phones can handle so much nowadays, but that app you downloaded a year ago and only used once, does it really need to still have permission to use your camera roll whenever it wants? You see, it doesn't mean we have to limit the amount of smart devices we have, but when we're setting it up at the beginning, we need to take that very seriously when it asks what permissions it can have for the rest of its life. So now it comes to where we physically can take some control, and that's passwords, or passphrases. Now, I could talk for about 2 minutes and 14 seconds about that stuff. In fact, I already have. So go ahead and check that video out on our YouTube page right after this. Number 4, updates. This one's simple. Do them now. Now, I know sometimes we like to push off updating because we have to wait 15 minutes before we can use our device again, or the keyboard might look slightly different in the text messaging. But the reason security updates exist is so that we can constantly keep fighting the ever-evolving viruses that are trying to hack in. And finally, the last part of UPPUL, limitations. We need to take some serious accountability when it comes to this. Anytime any personal information is required or we're putting something out there, we need to have a little bit of healthy suspicion. Whether we're buying something in an online store or just posting vacation pics on Twitter, we need to understand that it is out there forever and there is no such thing as a delete button on the internet. So to wrap it all up, we're living in a smart home world now, plain and simple. Now, that doesn't mean it's time to bust out the tinfoil hats just yet, but a little bit of cautiousness when having any IoT devices enter our lives is going to go a long way. So let's make sure we keep these steps in mind when starting up any devices, and we're going to keep the smart in our homes. That's a good line.